Alright guys, we are back. GPT Chicago. This is a modern tournament today. We are in the semifinals. This is Chris Stoyles and Matthew Smurf Murphy. This is a Malera mirror match. Quite an interesting...
Yep, this is definitely a mirror match that rewards the player that knows the deck the best, knowing the different lines that your opponent can do, and best ways to counter them while still securing a win. Both combos will be live in this matchup, and both beatdown paths will be pretty open.
Beatdown path is definitely going to be the play for Matt, I think, because Chris Stoyles does know the deck a lot better than he does, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure who knows it better. I know that Chris just knows Magic pretty well. I know that he just started playing the deck recently. So, and I don't know where Smurf got the whole deck from, but he's also an extremely good player. I don't think I've ever beaten him, but that's not saying
I've never
much.
beaten him.
So
Then again, first time modern player for me right here. I only know the decks. Shuffling up now. We're getting ready to see what's gonna happen. But
we have Stoyles on the presenting first. Looks like he wins the present race. We don't know what kind of dice strategies are on the go. I mean, I know Stoyles likes to try to roll for high, but I know Murph tries to roll higher every single time. It's just roll in the beginning of the game.
I think the play here is who's the faster at the beatdown right now. You want to get out pod as quickly as you can, and you want to start the beats. I think that's the only play for a mirror match.
Well, they can both combo because they don't main deck a lot of removal.
No, they
except
don't.
for with their creatures, and pod can only activate at sorcery speed. So if you draw like some of the pieces with a pod, it's very easy to get out the rest of the pieces. Generally speaking, Infinite Life isn't as appealing unless it's with the Archangel of Thune and Archangel of Thune Spike Feeder combo, because if they go for infinite dudes after they're done activating, they can go to higher life than their infinite dudes.
It looks like there's some significant differences in the deck list, though. Looking at Chris Stoyles, a 1-up Shriekmaw, and
I know Stoyles plays the Pontiff in his list, which wipes a lot of the 1/1s. I'm not sure if Smurf runs that, and that will get rid of all the Mana Dorks, the Noble Hierarchs, and the Birds of Paradise.
okay.
So it
So
looks like
Smurf
Smurf grabbed a Farce, which usually indicates the first turn Birds of Paradise or Noble Hierarch, and that's exactly what we see. This is super vital for Birthing Pod because it's very easy
really
to get out your second turn.
and that is followed by an Abrupt Decay. A
Which is
smart
good to turn
move.
off the second turn.
Smart move, getting rid of those dorks so we can't pot them away in response. Looks like a shock Overgrown Tomb into a Spellskite main board.
Yep, that's where any of the removal for pods or his other creatures will go to first.
Basically.
Probably going to see that get sided out in games 2, just because pod normally doesn't play a lot of targets for it.
That's true. Although Stoyles looks to have the a removal heavy main board.
Yeah, he does. He has 2 Abrupt Decays and
3 Abrupt Decays in the main board. Shriekmaw, as I mentioned earlier. And also, you're looking at a lot of different things.
a lot of the one-ofs, like the one of Pontiff, the one of Shriekmaw as removal, Red Cap acts as removal, and Eternal Witness to get back one of the 3 Abrupt Decays. So he's got a pretty heavy removal-based pod list.
Looks like another shock for Smurf here.
And we'll see what he taps his lands for. And it looks like a Kitchen Sphinx to gain that 2 back.
Yep, the Kitchen Sphinx, detrimental to the entire deck.
I won't even go that far. But
It gets you that life. And there's the Abrupt Decay getting rid of the Spellskite.
Very interesting that he did not decide to target the abrupt decay towards the kitchen finks to see
Well, it
if he
would
could
come
get
back.
Smurf to pay 2 life.
Even though it would come back, he probably just let it and gain the more life. I don't think he'd risk it there because
Yeah, it was a good decision to see, knowing that Smurf would have just wanted his spell squid to die.
no, it wouldn't be. No, I'd say he let it bite the bullet anyway. If he targeted the kitchen finks, he wouldn't have used Spellskite's ability. He would let it die, let it come back, and then gain the life off of it.
Looks like Chris Stoyles plays Linvala instead of potting into it, which is extremely good.
Instead of potting into it, I don't even think he has a pot in his hand right now.
Neither of the players do.
That's very true.
When we see Matthew Murphy play down a Noble Hierarch, and when he attacks with the
The finks.
the kitchen finks, that will trigger the Exalted, so that not allowing the Linvala to the Linvala to block without it dying. And we'll see what Stoyles has in store. Drawing a birds, which is generally good for Gavany Townships.
Gotta get those dorks online.
Yep.
And that's a swing with Limvala.
And no Gavany activation before combat. Or before damage.
But he is cracking that land.
And that will probably be for a Revelark, but with nothing in the graveyard to fetch back, we'll see what he does.
He is sitting on that bird, so he'll probably use it.
Yep. And throws out the Revelark.
Cracking Catacombs at the end of turn. Lots of shuffling in a mirror match, I just realized.
Yep, both pods will cause your opponents to shuffle, and they both run 8 fetches. So it's a lot of shuffling, picking up the deck, putting it down, doing it again.
Like, let's
And
have
with-
fun. Let's learn how to shuffle.
And with the Linvala, Smurf is unable to sack the Viscera Seer and unable to tap Noble Hierarch for mana.
Looks like
Ranger EOS, when it comes into play, you're able to search for 2 creatures with power 1 or less. So it looks like Smurf is going to pick up a Birds of Paradise and a Noble Hierarch. His other target would have been Viscera Seer, but he's already drawn into that and played it. Same thing with his spell Skite, only runs one of those in the main.
that's true. Lots of one-ofs in Millerpod deck.
I don't, unless they're mana abilities, I'm not sure what Linvala reads exactly.
While William steps out, we have Andy over here now, helping me commentate for a little while.
Modern's cool.
Yeah, really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh man. Kitchen fakes.
We have
Face them down. Yeah, I'm cool. Go away, William. You don't know CMC 1 or less. You said power, so, you're ousted.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
Alright. Yeah, you're out,
He'll
man.
be back.
Alright, so what's happening here now? So, looks like Mr. Judge Man's coming in.
Judge Man is.
I wasn't really paying attention to what happened there.
Looks like he's.
They're replaying their...
They're replaying to try and figure out what's going on right now. It's
Well, the kitchen finks that was on Stoyles' side is currently AWOL.
Yep.
All coming in hot.
Yep. Stoyles is on the
Okay.
beatdown strategy this game. It looks like it was a proper strategy to go through.
Yeah, if you can. May as well. But yeah. Well,
So
the
we-
Malera
we-
with the kitchen finks is going to be pretty good for him right there.
yeah. If he
Hope
gets
he'll
the pod, if he does draw the pod, Chris can basically get the Finks life gain online,
Yeah.
bring it back with no counters on it, pod it away again.
So that's not too
Just
bad.
bring
there.
it through his entire deck basically.
Yeah, where Smurf doesn't have anything in the air, he can't really effectively block
No.
or anything. So
He can't affect.
he's in a pretty good spot right now.
It looks like. It looks like he's. Yeah, he does block with the kitchen finks and allows it to regenerate.
As he would.
And brings it back.
Another kitchen finks there.
Another kitchen
so
finks.
He gets enough life to survive a little longer. Or
And it's past the turn. He.
yeah. Offense taken.
Try not to.
So he actually did get that
Looks
flyer
like
to be able
he-
to
yeah.
survive that last turn there.
Although throwing a Birds of Paradise under the bus, I know you can't activate the abilities because of Limbala, but
so it's still not that bad.
nah, it's not that bad.
'Cause he's got enough land to be able to play anything effectively right now, so you don't really have to worry about it too much.
No,
He does need another flyer though if he wants to live a little
And
longer.
there's
Spike feeder is pretty dirty.
yeah, that's a
Doesn't have the Archangel out, of course, so it's not as bad. But
no. If he drops the Archangel,
Smurf is looking in a pretty hard place. Not sure what
yeah,
he's
Smurf
doing
is
there.
basically in a rock and a hard place right now.
Weighing out his options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the Eternal Witness.
Eternal Witness, yeah.
Trigger abilities,
Well, he can get a birds back.
get a bird.
Chump another turn.
Yeah, survive another turn, hopefully.
Yeah,
Unless Stoyles draws that third Abrupt Decay that he main boards.
this is true. If he does, then it'll be game over. Otherwise, Smurf will be left on 1 health there.
He's coming in.
And that'll be game 1.
That's game 1-2 Stoyles in the Malera mirror match.
Not a single pod was seen that day.
No. It's weird for pod matchups to not see a single pod.
You'd think in a mirror match you'd be seeing 4 or 5 of them.
True story.
All right.
All right. Thank you for subbing in for Will. Andy? All right, Will, welcome back.
It's good to be back.
To the commentator box.
Yep.
They are shuffling up, getting ready for their sideboards.
Yep. Let's see what their side in. Smurfs took out 4 cards from his sideboard.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's going for. I'm thinking he might. They
put in
both
an-
are running 4 Thoughtseize as sideboard.
I saw Smurf take out a Aven Mind Sensor, which only lets players search the opponent search the top 4 cards of the library. So if he's able to land one of those, that'll be really good versus all the search effects.
Also, Stoyles is running a Thrun the Last Troll in the sideboard. Do you think that could come in this match?
Thrawn
It's
can
hard
generally
to kill
come in.
once.
Can always come in any matchup.
Yes. Sorry.
It depends
it
on if
works.
Chris wants to try to counter. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's a good chance you'll see a last troll come in.
I think
Because
the
a lot of
prop
these
play-
games devolve into a ground match.
Yes.
Full
The
full
prop-
regenerator's
I
pretty
think
good.
the proper play would be to throw the one of Sin Collector from his sideboard into the board just to get those abrupt decays out of hand, because that is what really got him in the last match.
Yeah, we'll see
He
what
couldn't get
Smurf.
he couldn't get the Spell Guide online. He couldn't get the Noble Hierarch online. I don't think either player is going to be kind enough to show the camera what they're subbing in.
Well, I see 2 paths. I see Harmonic Sliver, and then I'm missing the 3 other cards. It looks like Smurf sided out his Abrupt Decays,
Yes.
and then some other stuff.
Yep. I think both players might have subbed in their Path to Exiles here. Looks like no, Stoyles is not running. He's running 2 Dismembers in the sideboard.
And I expected both of them came in
Yes.
with his one of Harmonic Sliver and probably his second Linvala.
I wouldn't be surprised. So this game could go either way after boards.
Yep, a lot of the Malaria mirrors, long as Breathing Pod's not involved, it really depends on their opening hands. We didn't see any Cord to Callings, we didn't see any Birthing Pods.
We
no,
did see one Revelark, except no targets.
Yep, no targets if it died.
Yes. Have you ever played Malaria Pod before?
I've played against it. I've never played it with my hands. I owned it for a day, but then I started taking it apart for the valuable goodies inside.
In a mirror match, would you ever once consider to remove the pods just to throw your opponent off? I do.
I know some people will side in or side out their pods versus other matchups, knowing that they'll put in too much hate.
Yeah.
So they might as well just take it out and add
Wait.
in more beaters. But in the pod versus pod mirror, they usually won't put in Tropo Orbs because it turns off half their deck because they know
Yeah.
they're not running in the side.
True enough.
Yeah, generally one activation will get you pretty far ahead in any game.
One activation of
Birthing
even a
Pod.
3. Like, potting a 3-cost creature to get a 4.
It's really strong. They have a lot of good 4 targets.
Yeah, they have a lot of good 4 targets.
A timely 5 potting a 4 to a 5. I mean, pod is just so good. It gives you opens you so many different options.
Can you please? We see some aggressive shuffling over here.
Very angry at each other, actually staring each other down. I know Chris is staring just under the brim of his hat right now, and really just giving Smurf a solid. It's like a verbal pat or an ocular pat down.
Alright, so they've passed each other decks. I believe Smurf is going to be on the play.
Generally, they like to be on the play, getting out a first turn mana dork into hopefully a second turn pod. It's a good way to start the game for any deck, even if you're not running pod. off. Both got kept.
Yep.
Both are going to play a Razorvine Thicket and lead with the Mana Dork.
Razorvine Thickets. It looks like a Gavany Township.
Followed by the Birthing Pod for 2 life.
Ah, good
Hopefully
old-
Smurf remembers to pay the 2 life.
We
There
have a
it
judge
goes.
sitting next to him on hand in case. Good thing we have
And
a
let's
judge
see if
handy.
Stoyles can do the same thing. I don't see
I
the
don't
Birthing
believe-
Pod in
I
his
think
hand.
the proper player here was there's the voice, and it looks like he's going to get in there for one with the
Exalted
dork.
Trigger.
Yep, with that exalt trigger. Wait, hang on. He does have exalt trigger. Wouldn't he take 2 off of that? Because he did
Nope,
take.
just 1. Noble Harik is a 0/1.
Got it. For some reason, I thought it was the same as a Llanowar elf, a 1 sitting at a 1/1. It's like kitchen things.
Kitchen Finks, gain 2. See if he's going to pot into a 4-drop with it. Persist Trigger, go up to 20. Stay at the same life.
Resist trigger.
And
I
in
think
this
the
situation, what do you
play-
think he would go for? I saw him pass through his Linvala, so I guess he's not aiming for that
yeah.
red crap. Going to target the
Murderous Redcap. Getting rid of
Noble Harik to keep him off that extra mana.
Yep. I don't know. Murderous Redcap would be the play. It would get rid of the dork. I would almost think that if he did side in Thrawn, I would get that for 4 mana.
There's many cases to get many of his other 4-drops getting Ranger.
That's true.
Lets him keep mana dorks, especially when you 2 birds plus a Gavany is a lot of damage in the air. Grabbing Linvala will turn off many of his other creatures' activations if he draws any of them.
It also. We're looking at a Scavenging Ooze.
Yep. And with 1 green up, you're always able to, with Persist Trigger on the stack, remove the creature and not have the creature come back into play.
And it looks like he's swinging in with the Voice of Resurgence.
Looks like we had a little trade.
Little trade off, but looks like Stoyles came out on top of that with the Elemental token off of the Voice of Resurgence.
Yeah, true. We'll see what Smurf does. Looks like he's got 2 lands, a Voice of Resurgence, and something else that he's keeping hidden.
Looks like that's a boy. I don't know. We see Stoyles sitting on a Linvala in his hand along with a Corsa Conclave. Good.
So it looks like
So
Stoyle,
he's
or
potting
Murph.
He's potting,
Yep,
and in
potting.
response, with the persist trigger on his stack, it looks like Stoyles is going to get that green source to eat it.
Eat it so it doesn't come back into play. But Smurf will still be able to
Get the trigger.
will be able to still pot into one of his 5-drops. And we'll see what he's going to grab with one of his 5-drops. Wrong deck list.
So he's getting a 5-drop, and it looks like a Shriek Maw getting rid of that Scavenging Ooze.
Gets, yep. Good old Shriek Maw making sure the Fun Police go back in their corner. Lets this to be a good old fair one-sided pod match.
And we see Stoyles reminding Murph that the Murderous Redcap is removed from the game. Type it in. We can't see Smurf's life. Here, I'll go tell him.
And life total is back on screen.
Looks like Chris sided in his even mind sensor, just like Smurf did. We'll see if that comes into play with the active birthing pod. Maybe you can surprise him.
Be pretty beautiful.
But it looks like Stoyles is under a lot of pressure with a Shriek Maul that has fear, which means it can't be blocked except by black creatures, and a Kitchen Finks, and an active birthing pod, which will probably even mind censored upon activation.
It looks like Stoyles is actually sitting on 2 Court of Callings there as well.
Yep, but the even mind sensor effect is not symmetrical.
Exactly,
It only affects
yeah.
the opponent.
Yep. But he could go either play here. Court of Calling is an instant, if I'm correct, yes?
Quarter calling is an instant.
Yep, so he could go either route with that by playing the Even Mind Sensor or the Court of Calling, depending on what Smurf does. And there we go. Mind Sensor coming on in.
Persist trigger goes back up to 20 life.
And let's see, 4 lands off the top.
4 cards off the top. And we'll see if he hits. I know that when even sign Cementor's played, it generally always finds something up on
Ooh.
top, but it looks like this time it was
Complete
good
whiff. Kind of sad for Smurf.
But now the jig is up.
Guaranteed Stoyles has a big old grin under that hat right now.
Well, it's definitely when you get value off your even mind sensor. It really is a bummer when you flash it in, save your turn, do it, and then they find exactly what they want in the top 4
Exactly.
off of fetches or pods.
You are kind of hedging your bets with it, but when it works, oh, it just feels so
It feels
great.
pretty good. We see both players enacting the generally accepted strategy of aggressively shuffling your hands back and forth. Chris Stoyles does have 2 chords in hand, and a Linvala. Very, very strong cards in this matchup. Silver Bullets. And with his swing of 4, we'll see how Smurf responds. He does it just by taking 4.
And Linvala comes on in.
That will turn off the Birds of Paradise ability to make mana. And that's it for just now.
Which isn't too bad. He doesn't have to
And-
worry about it too much.
No. And it looks like Smurf was thinking of an end of turning a even mind sensor, but that kind of ruins the surprise factor.
Shriek Mao is getting in there. And no blocks.
And we'll see what Smurf's going to do in his second main phase. Looks like he's going to lay down his
Voice of Resurgence.
Voice of
yeah.
Resurgence. And with Linvala out, he shouldn't be able to tap the birds for mana. So I'm going to go in and see what happens.
Another sub out. Don't put your sunglasses on, you look stupid. And oh, the Even Mind Sensor is going back to the hand, and everything looks to be fixed up there. Yeah. When you're getting high in the rosters, you kind of get a little bit of nervous action going on there, so you sometimes do overlook small things like that, yeah. Yeah, let's see. Well, Stoyles loves his foreign cards, that's for sure.
True enough.
Oh, they're untapping the wrong lands too, are they? Sneaky, sneaky. That's not too good. Apparently they're untapping the wrong lands, as the chat's saying. Well, oh no, might not matter all too much here. But we're seeing a court of calling coming through.
And that's why I wanted to make sure the David Mind sensor.
Definitely relevant for the previous play where Smurf tried to get in that Aven Mind sensor.
There you go.
And there we are.
Looks like Stoyles did get the murderous red cap with the quarter calling.
And Shriek Ma down.
Then we go back to aggressive shuffling. It looks like.
Rawr. Alright, so
Looks like
court
a
calling
quarter.
himself.
Yeah, quarter calling.
Not very effective with an David Mind sensor on the opponent's side of the field.
Very true. The Aven
Yes.
Mind sensor is going to be fairly
Yes.
disruptive with that court calling. Looks like we need a murderous red cap or another one to come down, shoot down that Aven Mind sensor. But chances of that fairly low, of course. Even if there is a second one, even. Murderous red cap's only going to be the one of, so yeah, that opportunity is passed.
Looks like the swing is going to be met with the murderous red cap.
Ooh, persistent, take out the birds. Smurf had a fairly strong board a minute ago, but it's all been dwindled away there now.
A good thing to know is that Stoyles is keeping a track of his life off camera with a notepad.
It's not adjusting it. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. I believe he didn't take the voice.
He might have taken it on the pad of paper, but
Yeah, he never changed the dice.
and back in Will goes. Let's see how mad they get at him this time. Gotta start playing right, boys. That's all it is.
Looks like a swing and a response activation of Gavany Township. Coming straight in. There we go.
Hey. And thank you, Will.
Thank you, Will, for allowing the players to get mad at you even more.
Well, if they start playing
So-
right, you don't have to worry about it so much.
That's 7 damage coming in the air, which is and there's
Ooh,
the
Viscera Seer.
seer. Good thing to note is that Gavany Township takes the neg counter off of Murderous Redcap.
Ooh, which is definitely
So-
relevant here.
Yes.
Ooh, scraped a little bit of crud off his Birds of Paradise there.
I think this is more or less just a blocker now.
Definitely. Well, with the Linvala active on the other side, there's not much you can do about it there now.
No.
So,
Also, he's staring down 7 power in the air by themselves. Possibly 9 if he activates Gavany again. And
oh, he definitely will. There's no
and
denying
I
that.
believe that's 2 Gavanys
It sure is, yeah.
on Stoyles.
Chances are, though, I'd say he'll go for the Viscera Seer activation on the Murderous Redcap just
Get
to
rid
be
of
able
the
to
flyer
take
and
down the
then
flyer and
just
be able
hit
to get
7.
in. Yeah, he'll be able to just get in that extra few damage and possibly lethal.
He is definitely looking at lethal if he plays his cards right.
You can coordinate response like at the top 4 to try to get another birds.
Yep, and we do know that Smurf is looking at quarter calling in his hands. He could, in response to the murderous red cap trigger from the seer, look for another birds for a blocker. So it looks like he's just going to ship the turn back. That was a swamp off the top for Stoyles.
Well, looks like a bit of sequencing problem from Chris Stoyles there.
Yep.
He would have been able to get in for. Well, it
Quite a
would be
bit
lethal,
more.
wouldn't it?
It would be more.
If he activated his Gavin
And
Township.
there's a block followed by a response quarter calling.
Ooh,
And
calling showdowns.
we are looking at Yep. And yep. And it looks like Stoyles has won the mirror match in 2. We will be back with the finals. Again, this is the GPT Chicago modern format.